But hitting the brakes ain't gonna be helping either. Okay. Mishnayos. We haven't do. It's very interesting. Tonight we have the Mishnayos has to do with the daf, and the Mishnayos has to do with Hanukkah. So we're on to Terumos, Mishnah Gimel. Yeah.
Eric Yudal.
I'm sorry, right? I knew there was. I knew I was missing something. Yeah, thank you. Terumos, Perek Yud Aleph, Mishnah Gimel. Again, thank you to Aaron Kaplan for the see him. For all those that weren't there, they missed a fine time. And Peretz's pizza was as usual. So thank you and all that. Okay, so Perek Terumos Perek Yud Aleph Mishnah Gimel. Ein oisen tamarim dvash. You cannot make. So we're talking about Terumos and Maasros. So we said last week that Terumos has chashivas to it. So you're not allowed to degrade it, right? You can't use it to. We said last week you can't use dates to put it into fish stuff to take away the bitter taste, because then you're going to throw out the dates. So you're ruining the dates, etc. So here, juice, for all those that are very in today's door, everybody's into juice, right? The juice bars and this, that's not considered a chashuva form of you're gonna write lane because it bumps. Thank you. Gotta teach Naftali the tricks of the trade of doing the daf while driving.
You don't have it self-driving tonight, Naftali? You don't know how to do it like that?
Tonight is Naftali self-driving. Yeah. No, he's doing a fine job. So anyway, so believe it or not, juice is not considered as chashuv as the actual fruit, which is why we don't make separate brachas on you don't make a bar priya eitz on juice. It's a shahakol according to Moshe. Is that a whole different thing? But ain't nice and tomorrow.
Even if there's like pulp or pieces.
So pulp or pieces is debatable because maybe that's considered like having a fruit. But the main point of the Mishnah is that there's no chashivas to juice whatsoever, except for wine and olive oil, hence Chanukah. So ein oisen tamarim dvash, you do not make dates into honey, because honey is a liquid. V'loy tapuchim yain, and you should not make apples into wine, which means, I think, apple cider. V'loy sisvanias chaimitz, and you should not make the grapes from the winter into vinegar. Ushar kol ha'peiros ein mishana noisem mibriyason, and all other peiros do not change them from their natural form. The truma over ma'aser sheni with truma and ma'aser sheni. Why? Because truma and ma'aser sheni have chashivas to it. You cannot mess around with them. Elazeisim anovim bavad, only olives and grapes. Then ain't seifken harbayim mishum arla. That was my Gershon's not on, but for me sufkaniya, right? That was my one-track mind over here, but it's the same word. It's like absorbent, right? A sufkaniya is absorbent with oil or whatever else they put in there, right? So ain't seifken harbayim mishum arla, but if you drink fruit, arli is the first 3 years, you're not allowed to eat the fruits. If it was made into juice and you eat it, you will not. Seifik as arbayim means you don't absorb 40 malchus. Only with what comes out from olives and grapes. And you don't bring bikurim from mashkim, meaning you have to bring the first fruits of the shivas aminim, not when it's in liquid form. Except for olives and grapes. That's going to have to do with tonight's stuff. We know that in order for fruits and food to become tummy, it has to be huchshel lekabel tumah. It has to get wet with the 7 types of liquid. Fruit juice is not one of them. Except for what comes out of olives, olive oil, and grapes. And you don't bring them. We're not makriv. No fruit juice on the mizbeach, except what comes out of olives and grapes. So basically, olives and grapes, what comes out of them is considered chashuv. That's olive oil and wine. Everything else is considered a downgrade, and that's also why olives and grapes on Shabbos, if you cut up olives and grapes, you're not even allowed to use the juice that flows out of it by itself, right? Because what do you call it? Because that's considered choshev, and we're afraid you may want it. Okay, Mishnah Dalet. So the how do you call it? The stems of figs and dried figs and va'klisim va'charuvin shel truma and klisim, right? Or charuv carobs. So all those things, and if they're made out of truma, so the stems, l'chara, you should be able to use. Meaning a Yisrael should be able to use, because what use does a kohen have from them? But no, asurim lazarim, they are asur to zarim, because they're soft, and people can sometimes eat them. So mamela, that would be considered. That's considered like using truma, and therefore it's not allowed. Okay, that's we won't do much musar tonight because it's too complicated for me to find.